Well, you know, Frank, since you did my video, it's been a journey. It's been excellent. Thank you for doing such a great job. I'm now traveling all over the world doing seminars based on this video that you did for me. So I'm very happy with the progress. I'm getting orders from all over the world, from Argentina, from Ireland, from Jamaica, all over the United States, you know, from everywhere. So it's been really good decision to go ahead and put the video out, and I hope you know, I can get a chance to work with you again on my second one. Well, you know, I've been in Teaneck for over 20-something years. First, I lived here. When I first opened my business, I lived in Teaneck. My wife actually went to Thomas Jefferson Middle School and then on to high school here in Teaneck. Our friends still live here in Teaneck. We still go to the local places here in Teaneck. We still go to Cedar Lane, we're Teaneck Road, we still shop here. I have many students who are still here, that live in Teaneck, that come to my school. So, you know, we have a very close link to Teaneck. Well, first I have to thank Frank for setting up this interview with Dana, who actually lived here in Teaneck also. He's a Teaneck resident. It really was a great interview because I was able to share a little bit more about who I am as a person and how I grew up and how I got into the martial arts. So first I want to definitely thank you for getting that interview with me, because I think it was a good start to show, you know, the audience really where I came from and why I did the video. So why don't we just take a look at the video.
Hi, I'm Dana Rose here with Master Alvin Bernard, owner of Team USA Taekwondo Fitness in Fort Lee, New Jersey. Welcome, Master Bernard.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
I need a minute to go through your incredible list of achievements. 7th degree black belt, Taekwondo International Champion, Taekwondo Times Magazine named you Coach of the Year, World Champion Coach for many students, and an Olympic coach. We have to start there. What was it like to be an actual Olympic coach?
That was the highlight of my career.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything bigger. There's no bigger sporting event in the world than the Olympics. So for me, that was the highlight of my career. Awesome, had a great time, and hope it'll happen again, hopefully. But
huge stage.
Yeah, it was
amazing.
It was just amazing.
And you took Jamaica to the Olympics in the category of Taekwondo for the first time ever.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was, it wasn't easy. It took a lot of work.
Yeah.
They're very talented athletes in Jamaica. But they weren't so familiar with the Olympic sparring. Yeah. So it took me a while, it took me a few years to be able to train them and get them ready.
Right.
And when it happened, it was just the most amazing
like,
thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, just the most.
It worked.
It worked. Yeah, it worked. So it was just a great feeling to be able to, not just for me, but also for the athlete, Kenneth Edwards, for him to be able to be the first Jamaican athlete to make it to that level. Right. It was just, it's great. It's a great feeling.
So what exactly is Taekwondo?
Taekwondo originated in Korea. Taekwondo can mean many things to different people. And the reason for that is Taekwondo has two identities. You have Olympic Taekwondo, which is governed by the WTF, and it is an Olympic sport. And you have ITF, which is based on on martial arts. It's a martial arts. So you have two separate entities or two different styles, and one is based on sport and one is based on a martial arts. So it could be very complicated for some people, but it has the same root and the same origin, but over time there is a split and it went two separate directions.
How were you introduced to Taekwondo?
I actually started Taekwondo in Germany in 1983. I moved there to live with my family and always wanted to study the martial arts. And that was the first formal training in the martial arts was in Germany, in Deutschland. It's been over 30 years now.
Wow.
And still doing Taekwondo.
What type of people train at Team USA Taekwondo Fitness?
Well, we have all different types of people. We have, I have real top athletes who are going for nationals or international or world championship athletes that train there. I have children that are starting from 4 years old, 3, 4 years old. So we have all different levels of people that train there. We have just people who just want to come in and stay fit. So we have fitness classes, we have kickboxing classes. So, we have different variety of people that come and train at Team USA Taekwondo Fitness.
How do you keep those 4-year-olds so incredibly focused and disciplined? Because that's crazy for a 4-year-old.
Yeah, it is. It's really not that difficult. First thing that we teach a student is how do you behave in a class? How do you have to listen, you have to sit still, you have to ask permission to do something. So we stick with the traditional teachings, making sure that they know how to behave. So we don't teach them how to kick and punch and before they know how to behave. So they have to learn how to sit quietly, they have to know how to show respect, how to bow, and then once they learn those basic things, then we move on to teaching them how to do push-ups and sit-ups and stretching and kicking and we go from there.
Oh, it's really about training them in the philosophy first.
Yeah. Basic, yeah. We want to I always try to make sure that that's the first, because if the child doesn't know how to behave, they don't know what to do, yes? So instead of teaching them how to punch and they don't know anything else, then they're going to go back to what they're used to at home or at school, or wherever. So we always make sure we start with the traditional teaching, respect, how to behave, how to bow, the reason why they bow, the reason why they wait their turn, so we explain those basic philosophy through the martial arts training, and once they learn that, even at 4 they can get it, really. The structure is very good. The structure of the martial arts is excellent for children, and that's why so many people want their children to do martial arts.
Start out with it, yeah.
So it's very good.
So what sets Team USA Taekwondo Fitness apart from other Taekwondo schools?
At Team USA Taekwondo Fitness, I am the instructor, I'm the owner, and I'm the main instructor there. So I'm always there. It's not like other schools. You have kids teaching the class, and you have somebody comes in whenever they want, or I'm always there. I'm the master instructor. I'm always there. I'm always supervising. I'm always making sure that my structure, my footwork, all the things that I think are important are taught every day. Yeah. So I always stress all those things. So that's why I think my school is probably different from others, because from what I've seen, they're not as strict, I think, in the traditional teachings of the martial arts.
So you have an amazing record, obviously, personally, and you've also produced a lot of top performing athletes who have gone on to have great success. What's your formula for that?
It's not just one formula. It's not just one thing that makes so many champions. You have to have many things. Yes. One of the main reason, I think, it's because I was a very competitive person, and I always I made mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes, and I didn't have the guidance. I didn't have someone watching over me, so I made a lot of mistakes. So now I make sure that my students don't make the same mistakes that I made.
How do you make sure that your students don't make the same mistakes you made?
I show them. So if they're doing something, I always ask, so if you do this, what's the results? I said, okay, if you do this, this is what's going to happen.
Right.
If you do this, and for me, sparring, it's a science, and I understand it, I know it, and that's, I always have the facts to back up what I'm saying. So this is how I always make sure, if you do this, this is the result. Yeah, so that's, pretty much how I work that.
What is the walkaway for your students when they come to you, whether it's your 4-year-old, whether it's your top-level athlete, whether it's your mom or dad that comes in for fitness? What is it that you want everyone to walk away with?
I think all my students, they all come for different reasons. Yes? Yeah. So they're all going to walk away with something different. But I think my main goal for all my students is that they walk away with better health. That they're healthy, they're strong, they feel good about themselves, yes, and also maybe more disciplined, maybe physically stronger, those are the basic things that I think are the most important thing. Yes, self-defense is also very important, they should be able to protect themselves, but I think the main goal for me is good health, having good health, and being good citizens for my kids, make sure they understand that it is so important to be respectful, to everyone, not just to me, but to their parents and to their teachers and to everyone. So those are the main goals that I think is important for my students to walk away with.
Do you know what I've heard you say?
No.
Try your best. Always do your best.
Yes,
yeah.
And that's the most important thing. Not everybody can do the same things.
Right.
If you try your best, what else can you ask someone?
Absolutely. It's simple, but it's very, very true.
Absolutely.
So you have produced a lot of top-level athletes in lots of different martial arts disciplines. How does that dynamic work?
Well, first you have to understand the different martial arts. And I've been, like I said before, I've been studying the martial arts for over 30 years. Not only have I studied WTF Taekwondo, ITF Taekwondo, I've done Shotokan Karate, I've done kickboxing, I've done Kung Fu, I did MMA. I've done many different martial arts. And when I train, I always want to understand what's the goal of each style and what's going on. First, you have to understand each of the martial arts and the rules. You have to understand the rules. And how it works and what the judges are looking for, and once you understand that, then you can do anything. You just need to know the rules. You need to know what's allowed. And from my background, I have a very intensive training in different martial arts, and that's, I think, one of the reasons that really helped my students, because sometimes you can throw something that's a little bit unorthodox in there, and people panic or not sure exactly what's going on, and but it's a distraction. So those are little things that sometimes help me to, because of my background, help me to teach really anyone. I can sometimes blend the martial arts.
Styles, yeah.
Yeah, that's it?
No, there's more. You have an amazing video coming out called The Edge, Elite Footwork, Secret to Faster Kicking and Better Sparring. So this is your first video.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Now, why did you choose to do your first video about footwork?
There are a few reasons why I have decided to make this video on footwork. The Edge, the secret to faster kicking and better sparring. After traveling the world, coaching, teaching, and taking seminars, I noticed that there is very little focus on footwork for sparring. I started my research by looking at some of the top athletes in the world. And I noticed that there were many things in common. I needed to make this video to set up a basic guideline that anyone who's learning sparring or teaching sparring should follow. In this video, you will learn how to first set up an attack. Without proper footwork, you cannot set up an attack. Also, how to execute a kick. Without proper footwork, you will not be able to kick quickly. And how to dodge or escape an attack. These are the three basic reasons why I believe anyone who gets this video will be able to learn the basic guideline to follow when learning or teaching sparring. Footwork is something that's neglected. And I think it's neglected because most people just think that it's the punching and the kicking that works.
The end result.
Yeah, the end results. So they go to the end results without not focusing on how do you move from one point to the next point. Yes, with grace and with accuracy and with speed. Yes, and coordination. So those are the things that footwork is going to give to you. This is what this video is going to help you to gain. You're going to be able to have great coordination just by watching the edge. You're going to be able to know how to counterattack someone, how to dodge, how to escape, how to attack, where your feet needs to be to have effective kicking. Yeah, so those are the things I think that are very important for any competitive martial artist, any person who wants to learn how to do well in the ring, spar or compete or whatever. Just learning how to move, I think, is so important. Plus, I also had students who came to me and said, what you do in your class is amazing. I've done different martial arts and no one ever showed me that. And so I continue to develop the footwork routine, and I experiment with myself and my students, and we've gotten really good results from it. Yeah. So I think that it's time for me to share this. I think this is my way of giving back to the martial arts, and so this is one of my projects, and hopefully there's more to come in the future. It's been a journey. To be where I'm at today with putting this video together, but I think that it's needed. I think it's something that's needed, and hopefully we'll have people going out and watching and learning and improving and getting better. I spend a lot of time focusing on how to move to be effective, and there's three basic reasons. And if you know those three basic reasons, those basic things, then you can apply it and be a much better competitor in the ring, fighting, whichever your style is. Really, it doesn't really matter what your style is. You may have to tweak it a little bit, always, but you need someone with the knowledge to be able to help you to make those transitions.
So I saw some bonus footage, and there was a slalom skier split screen with someone doing your footwork, and it literally looked like the same action. So my question is, who does this benefit?
The bonus feature, it's a jump rope routine, and anyone can do jump rope, really. Jump rope is for anyone, yes, but I have really kind of make it our jump rope routine more martial arts specific, more Taekwondo specific. Yeah, most jump rope that you see out there geared towards boxers.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so this routine is geared to more martial arts or kicking. So it's for me, it's very important that everyone, especially my students, cross train. The more things you do out of your style, the stronger you'll get, because once you do if you do a certain kick over and over and over, then those muscles become strong. But what about the other muscles? You need to figure out how to get those muscles to become strong. And if you have good support, then the whole body is strong and you move better. So the jump rope routine is a good way to change it around with, like you said, with the skiing and the way they move, and and there's other parts of it with that explosive movements, not only explosive plyometric movements, but we also have things in there to get your heart rate up. So it's a great exercise for speed and agility, coordination, and it's good for our sport. It's good for Taekwondo, people who want to kick and want to move the way we do in the martial arts.
Yeah, and that says something to me. There was a move that I've been doing for years, and you suggested that I try it differently, and now it's like starting from scratch because that muscle is not developed. Right. And now I'm working on it and getting stronger. So I think that's interesting. There is footwork all over this video, obviously, and you have different names for it. Where did that come from?
Well, as a coach, it's very important that when you tell your athlete something, they're able to do what you tell them to do. So as a coach, as an Olympic coach, and I have many different students in different things, in different martial arts. It's very important that when I say something, they know exactly what I want them to do. So for me, I needed to make sure I break all the movements down, all the footwork down, step by step, movement by movement. So when I tell my student, do this, they know exactly what I want. They don't ask me forward or back or to the side or whatever. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this video, is to help other students who want to be able to maybe compete at a higher level. Okay. And this definitely will help. And also it will help students or athletes who are already at a high level but are missing certain things, or maybe never weren't taught certain things or don't understand certain things. Yeah? So hopefully this video will be able to open their mind and show them that there's different ways to move. There's not just one way. It's not just forward and backwards. Right. Yes, there's different ways, and it also depends on the martial arts too. So you have to understand the different martial arts to be able to implement these movements.
Right.
Okay.
Like fine tuning.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So is there going to be a follow-up video?
I hope so. I have a lot of things to share. I've been, like I said, I've been doing this martial arts for many years. I think I have a lot more to share. We're looking into doing maybe another one pretty soon, just to work on different things like ring craft, or how to counterattack, how to set up your move better, how to psych your opponent out, how to get into your opponent's mind, how to, there's many different things. There's so many different things that I have success with, and I would really like to pass it on to my students, or to anyone really, because for me, I always tell my students, the more competitive they are with each other, is the better they'll become. Yes. So if one person is just good and the other person is better, and then this person does. Yes. So if they're both very good, they're constantly pushing each other. Yes. So I think I can definitely do more in that area, and that probably will be my next video, is trying to show those things, like I said before, ring craft, and how to move, and how to set up your counter attack, and how to throw kick, because a lot of times people just kick because they want to kick. People just punch because they want to punch. I always tell my students, don't do that. There's a reason, a rhyme for everything. Okay, there's a counter for everything. And if you have good footwork, you can do that. If you don't have good footwork, then that becomes a problem. Yeah. So if you have excellent footwork, now you can know, don't throw this kick from that direction, because you're going to get countered. Yes. Or if somebody's kicking there, this is how you have to move, and this is the technique that's most effective for that move. Yeah. So you don't just punch because you want to punch, or you don't kick. And that's where most people, I think, are missing. They're missing that little detail-oriented part of sparring.
Methodical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it.
Okay. So is there anything else you think that's beneficial that you want to share?
I think the martial arts is an amazing tool for everyone, not only for children, but for adults. I've benefited so much from the martial arts, and I've seen so many of my kids benefit from learning the martial arts. So I hope that more people can get involved and train. It doesn't, I don't care what martial arts you're training. Get out there and train. I think the culture of the martial arts is amazing. There's so many good things to learn from the martial arts. It makes you so disciplined, and I think that's very important for a lot of kids. Not only you want them to be respectful, but you want them to be disciplined.
Right.
When you set your mind to something, I think nothing should stop you. And those are some of the things I definitely stress in my class, that yes, I want you to behave, I want you to behave this way, but you have to learn and focus on we call it the tenets of Taekwondo, which is the basic principle that we follow in the martial arts. Courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and indomitable spirit. So if I can get my student to understand those and to try to apply them to their life every day, we'll definitely, I think, not produce, I guess, we will try to raise better children, not only for them to be able to defend themselves, but they'll be good citizens. And that's my goal, is that each one of my students that leave my school leave a better person. Okay,
I can see that. Yeah. Is there anything we haven't spoken about that you think would be beneficial?
What's very important is that when you watch this video, you not only watch it, but you apply the techniques. So you go out and you experiment with it in your studio, you try the drills, and I guarantee you that you will benefit from the footwork. But you must apply it. You must go try it, okay? And I think that you definitely, everyone should benefit something. Yes, some things, you already know this move, but I guarantee you there's going to be something in there that's going to help you to be better. Right. Yes, but again, you must apply it, you must practice them, and that's how you will become better.
Wonderful. Thank you, Master Bernard. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
We were here with Master Alvin Bernard, owner of Team USA Taekwondo Fitness in Fort Lee, New Jersey. To get in touch with Master Bernard, please contact him at teamusatkd.com and make sure to get his video, The Edge.
So there was the video. I hope you liked the interview. Frank, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. I see that not only you helped me so much with my video, so I see you have this new local channel, Provide TV, local for the local area. It's really great. It gives people like me and others opportunity to be able to, show what's going on in the community. And I think it's a great thing for everyone, and thanks again.